Hello there and welcome to you, my beautiful fellow travelers on the higher cosmic and spiritual psychic paths. It's Psychic Cynthia here, spiritual psychic Cynthia Killian. And happy solstice, happy December solstice, happy winter solstice to those of you who live in the north, like me. Happy Sun enters Capricorn time. To those of you who live in the southern hemisphere, this is your summer solstice. Very different than for those of us who are in the north. Since I'm in the north, I'll be addressing my comments primarily to the winter solstice. But if you're lucky enough to be in the southern hemisphere right now, oh goodness, what a time of beauty, of expansion it is for you. For those of us here in the north, we are entering into the time of stillness. Actually, for all of us, this is the time of stillness. This is the time when the sun crosses the furthest southernmost point. And so for us here in the north, this is our winter solstice, meaning the winter of the soul, the time of stillness, the time of contraction. And in truth, the winter solstice energetically isn't just one moment. It is a moment. You know, the moment where we say the sun enters Capricorn, and that's December 21st, 2023. But this is ushering in a new season, a season of preparation. For you see, in astrology and in the language of the cosmos, the entry of the sun into Capricorn, this is the beginning of the last quarter of the astrological year. The astrological year does not start on January 1st. It starts with the entrance of the sun in Aries, with the March equinox. So we are in the end game, the end quarter now of the astrological year, and this is the season of preparation for the rebirth. So I want you to remember that, not just for today, but for the next 3 months ahead, for the next 3 signs, for the signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, for that period of December 21st all the way to around March 21st of next year. This is a time to recalibrate and get ready for your takeoff point around the equinox, so to speak. But bringing it back to right here, to the winter solstice. The winter solstice is truly a time of stillness. It's a time when many of us celebrate the inner light because it's the darkest day. I mean, it might be sunny where you're at. It doesn't look like it's going to be sunny where I'm at, actually. We'll see. But still, the amount of light is very low on the solstice. And depending on how far north you are, there may be no light. I mean, if you live in the Arctic Circle, there's no light. Okay. So we are here at the darkest point of the year for those of us in the north. And therefore, to seek the light, we must seek it inside our own light. And it can be hard around this time. It can be hard because the external light is so powerful. It makes it easier, I think, for us to feel lighter when we have more physical light. The way is just easier. So this is not an easy time. And by the way, if you're feeling a little down right now, one of the things you can do is actually bring more physical light. I mean, I realize you can't bring the sun in, any more than what it is. You can't make the sun come any closer to this hemisphere. But you can, if you have electricity or candles, bring in more light. And it will help so much. And of course, there is full spectrum light, and that helps a lot. But just light, Christmas lights, holiday lights, disco lights, whatever lights you like, camera lights, nice Tiffany lamp or just an overhead light. Turn on the lights, okay? It will help for those of you who struggle at this time with the darkness. Uh, and that's probably why we celebrate the inner light. You know, the light that is within us. This light that is in you, it shines even in the darkest time of the year, because it's not only a physical light, it's a spiritual light. And that spiritual light, that true solar sun, that, you know, spiritual cosmic energy, it's always shining. Even if you can't see it, the light is always there. But to me, this isn't only a holy day of light. It is, okay? And that's why we celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah and Yule and all of the different various world holidays around this time. They all connect back to the winter solstice and the celebration of the inner light. And yes, this is a powerful archetype to connect with, an energy. But to me, the power here is also in the darkness and the healing power of the darkness, the healing power of the stillness. And I know we resist that in our modern times. We want to keep expanding, and doing and having activity. But this time right now, in the north especially, when the sun is so far from us, it seems, you know, the light is so low, it's so little. This is our signal that it is time to contract. It is time to go within. It is time to rest. And when we lean into that time of darkness and contraction, that is the preparation. When we rest up, when we regenerate, we heal, we can do that if we allow ourselves to embrace the darkness, to embrace the quiet. And that's something, if you notice yourself getting crabby around the holidays, I've noticed myself this year, I have to admit, more than normal. I don't want to participate in so much of the hubbub and the noise, and it just feels like clutter to me. You know what I mean? Yes, it can be really fun to get together with family and friends, don't get me wrong, and I do love, you know, a good party and celebrating. But this year I'm finding I'm needing more of the quiet. And that feels right. That feels in alignment with the cosmic cycles. So I'm noticing that when I take the time to pull away a little, you know, to contract, as I'm talking about here, time for contemplation, for stillness. You know, it doesn't have to be just sleeping either. It can be if you need sleep, and you're going to find probably most of us do need more sleep at this time. We need more high quality sleep. But we also need stillness and time for contemplation. So if you can take some time, make the space, create the space to, you know, do whatever you like to do in your quiet time. Those quiet activities like reading or journaling, or maybe it's even for you, it could be cooking, you know, quietly, or making tea, or watching spiritual or psychic or astrology videos, you know, studying a contemplated subject. I know I've been reading a lot of the Asian wisdom, the ancient Chinese I Ching, and studying some of the Chinese medical texts and things like that. Yeah, that's what I do in my spare time sometimes. I know, it's kind of crazy. Whatever it is, you know, that you like to do, you know, in a more quiet, subdued way, you know, or putting on some quiet music. But your soul needs that right now. That's what I'm saying. It needs the quiet. And yes, we might still get together with friends and families and enjoy that, but you've got to balance that with the quiet right now, because that's the energies of the time. Now, the winter solstice, the December solstice, I should say, is the time when the sun enters Capricorn. And Capricorn carries many of the same energies I've been talking about here, the energies of contraction and stillness. Capricorn is the climber, the achiever. And so as the sun is moving through, you know, this period of Capricorn, you'll find that part of yourself stimulated, that energy within you. You know, you're thinking about goals, many of us. Maybe you're thinking about resolutions for the new year, or just what the next step is towards achieving your goals. And that could be a number of different kinds of spiritual goals. It could be, spiritual goals is what I'm saying, as well as material or physical goals, health-related goals, whatever, whatever floats your boat, whatever excites you, whatever moves you, uh, whatever you want to climb towards, whatever you want to reach for. So this is a sign of reaching, of climbing, of aspiring, really. And that energy is being activated now. So begin to tune into that and just think, what is it you want to reach for? What is it you want to reach towards? What do you want to evolve into being or becoming or even doing? I would really think more about the being and the becoming rather than just doing, but the doing is part of it, okay? And you have to be willing to do some doing to get to the being. It's true. It's also true you have to do some being to get to the doing, but that's another video for another time. Okay. So Capricorn, to me, if you're familiar with tarot at all, I feel like there is a energy affinity, a correspondence, or just a connection with the card, the Magician. The Magician in the tarot deck is a manifestor, a creator. It represents a person who uses tools, to bring forth something in the material world. So, yes, this is Capricorn. Capricorn is a manifestor, and so is the Magician. This represents a focusing of your will. We're just coming out of the time of Sagittarius, which is very unfocused. It's a beautiful energy. I love the Sagittarius energy, but it's very unfocused. It's scattered. It's about having a variety of different experiences at time and then choosing a focus, perhaps. I think in Sagittarius we can start to develop our intuition more and let it guide us to the higher path. But then in Capricorn, we really get on that higher path and start getting some traction. So that's where your inner magician can help. So tap into that inner magician. You can think of it as your own inner Merlin, your inner, perhaps, Saint Germain. If you work with the Ascended Masters, those are both Ascended Masters, by the way. You can work with that inner magical part of yourself to focus your will. And in order to do that, you have to clarify your will. You're going to have to eliminate some distractions. That's another time of this part of the year we start. There's a purification aspect in the sense that we are cutting back, we are eliminating, removing what is extraneous, what is not needed, so that we can focus the energies more perfectly into what we believe is needed, into what we wish to create. So it's really directing those energies. So yes, welcome to the time of Capricorn. Welcome to this new cycle, this season of preparing, of focusing your energies, of building, preparing to build, actually, building the foundation for your launching off point at the equinox. I hope you found this helpful. I think that's all I wanted to say on it. I could check my notes real quick here. Yeah, I think I pretty much got it. I think one thing about Capricorn in this whole season, maybe to keep in mind ahead, is that this is about crafting the future and really transcending your personal story, or maybe transforming your personal story into something larger as we transform, the little self, as we move beyond like the little self and our family connections, and we don't really move beyond, we take those with us, but we grow in, we evolve. That's what I'm trying to say. You evolve into something bigger than, just your little self. You become your big self. And you might take parts of your personal history with you, but really you're transcending it. You're transcending the power it has over you. A lot of times our family see us one way, or you play a certain role in your family, and that's fine. But your larger role could be something much more. The role that you have in society, the role that you have in terms of your mission. The Capricorn is, the mission sign. And these last three signs, the signs we're going to be moving through in January, February, and March, part of December too, these these are signs of resolving karma, and they are signs of really moving beyond karma into Dharma. That's what we're trying to do here in this last season, preparing for the onset of Dharma, moving more into Dharma. If you don't know what Dharma is, oh goodness, it's a higher path to purpose. That's one simple definition. Okay, a path of joy. It's a much lighter path than karma. It's a path of soaring. Yes, so we are, crafting the future here. Focus on the future, not just the past, not just the present moment. Think about what you need to do today to create that future self, that future life you want to live. And this will involve some delayed gratification, and inevitably that's why Capricorn is known for that. Okay, I think you get it. Preparing for the rebirth, right? Crafting the future. Don't let the family drama pull you down, please. You're more than just whatever the current drama is, whether it's your family drama, your work drama, whatever the matrix is, whatever details of the matrix. I mean, if you're dealing with household issues, I've had to deal with some of that this week, getting some more repairs done. Yeah, just don't let yourself become overcome by that. You're more than that. Your life is more than that. Your path is more than that. Remember your path. Let it call you back. And set your sights high for the future. Your life will follow where you set your sights. So look higher if you can. On that note, I'm wishing you many bright and dark blessings on this time of solstice. Goodbye.